I think we're actually there. Good morning. It's Tim Patterson, Trade Show Guy, and this is the Trade Show Guy Monday morning coffee. And, it's technology is kind of a funny thing. I'm going to take this screen share off, and so you can see my face for whatever reason. And there we go. All right. It's funny. I started this a week ago and had technology snafus in that no word went out that I was doing it. It was a mix-up with Webinar Jam that I finally figured out, which is the platform I used, which is tied in with Google Hangouts. I actually just saw in the last 10 minutes a notice from Google Hangouts that some of their API support for apps is going away in April. Now, I don't know if that affects Google Hangouts, if we'll have to do a different platform, because this is the way that through Webinar Jam, we get to Google Hangouts, which gets to live on YouTube, and we'll just see what happens. Maybe I'll just go Facebook Live. That might be the thing to do. I like Google Hangouts and Webinar Jam, though, for a number of reasons, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, greetings. I'm Tim Patterson, Trade Show Guy Exhibits in Salem, Oregon. You'll find us online at TradeshowGuyExhibits.com. The blog is at TradeshowGuyBlog.com. You can get a free copy of my book, a digital copy of Trade Show Success, 14 Proven Steps to Take Your Trade Show Marketing to the Next Level, by going to TradeshowSuccessBook.com. There's also a Trade Show Exhibit Buyers Kit.com, which you can get a Trade Show Exhibit Buyers Kit. You're in the market for an exhibit, that's a kit to tell you how to choose your next exhibit. And, of course, the site where all these webinars and discussions and things lodge and where you can sign up is TradeshowGuyWebinars.com. So here we are on Tuesday morning, the 9th of January, and we're off and running in 2017. And I appreciate you hanging out with me, whether you're watching on the replay on the blog or whether you're actually live with us here. It was quite a weekend in Central Oregon, I should say, Central Willamette Valley, Oregon, which is not Central Oregon. I grew up in Central Oregon, but the valley is kind of the west. Ice storms, snowstorms, crazy. A lot of roads jammed up. Freeway was nuts. I ended up going skiing on Saturday and avoiding all of that. Well, it didn't really avoid it because it was icy all the way up there and back. But, I grew up in this stuff, so I actually enjoy driving on ice. I know it sounds weird, snow and ice, but that's me. I go skiing. I went skiing, and it was very windy, very blowy, very cold, like 10 to 15 degrees. But I bundled up, so, I was good. Had a good time. Snow was excellent. Again, I couldn't see where I was going half the time, but I can live with that. But the ice storms in the Willamette Valley here closed things down. And then it warmed up yesterday and started raining, and it's now a slushy mess. So anyway. So, one of the things I do when I head up to the mountains is take a couple of podcasts with me. I have enjoyed listening to podcasts the last couple of months when I've been skiing. And I have a bit of a podcasting history. When I first got into this industry, which was just about 15 years ago, one of my ways of learning about the industry was to call up experts and consultants and exhibitors and ask to talk to them on the record and record them. And I was in charge of the company's website. This is back at Interpretive Exhibits, which is now long gone. Owner retired and he closed the shop down. But I was in charge of the website and sales and project management and all sorts of stuff. So what I would do is record these things and put them on our website. And it helped me learn a lot about the industry in a rather quick way. I thought it was very effective, and I thought it was kind of cool that I could share these. And after doing that for a couple of years, podcasting came along to where you actually put the audio in sort of a subscription basis in an RSS feed, if we're getting a little wonky here, but that's kind of what it boils down to. That's what a podcast really is. Frankly, I think the term is a little diluted these days because pretty much any audio online people will refer to as a podcast. But to my mind, I'm more of a purist. A podcast is something that you get by subscription, an audio file or a video file that downloads when you're subscribed to it. You can choose that, and that's really kind of the way that works. If you pull out your phone like this, it has a podcast app on it, and you can subscribe to things and get the latest episodes and that sort of thing. So I've been listening to podcasts, and I thought, I'm starting this little video blog, the vlog, on Monday mornings for 5-10 minutes, however long this thing lasts. And I'm going to commit to it for 3 to 4 months and just see how it goes. And I'm thinking, well, it'd be easy for me to roll the audio off of this and put that out as a podcast. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, frankly. Let's talk business a little bit. Interesting comment I got from a new client. Well, it's not a new client. It's some we've had for a couple of years, but we're doing an in-booth for them. And in the past, we've just done bits and pieces, a little bit here, a little bit there. We're doing a full-blown booth for them. And the comment was, we don't want to set this up anymore because it's a little bigger. It's beyond what we've done in the past. We've had to bring our crew and set them up, 2 or 3 guys in the marketing department and make it all happen. And if we don't have to do it, we don't want to do it. So I said, yeah, we can help you do that. So we have talked to some I&D companies to arrange that, getting bids and that sort of thing. And of course, she was asking these questions. The client was, well, what does this mean as far as what do we have to do? Will they ship it out when it's gone? I said, oh yeah, it's basically a turnkey. There's certainly information you have to give us, where things ship, how things set up. We have all that stuff. And she was like, wow, you mean all I can just do is show up and it's there? I thought, yeah, that's it. And it was kind of a epiphany in a sense, maybe not great one, but it's like, yeah, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I just can task someone to do that instead of having to worry about each and every setup. So that's kind of cool. And I think about that in so many clients we've had over the past several years, and I suspect this is common in this industry, is that you're working with clients that have done a thing a certain way for a while, and maybe they expand a little bit here and there, but then they say, you know what, we really want to take it to the next step. And however that works, we end up working with a number of those. And so they're going from like a 10 by 20 booth to a 20 by 20 or a 20 by 30. So they're going from a small inline, maybe even a 10 by 10, to a longer inline or an island booth. And frankly, that does move them out of the comfort zone. And I think about the comfort zone. It's not an easy thing to get out of your comfort zone because, it's not comfortable. You're used to doing a thing the same way, whatever that is. And this applies to anything in life, of course. And you move out of that comfort zone. And the good thing is, as you expand your boundaries, though, you expand that comfort zone. So what used to be difficult, what used to be expanding your comfort zone now becomes easy and normal and natural. And so your comfort zone has expanded farther. And next time around, you can say, you know what? I've got to expand my comfort zone again. If you remember the last time you did that, you think, yeah, maybe it won't be so hard this time. And so you learn as you go that you can expand your horizons over and over again. I do want to give you a weekly trade show marketing tip and a good thing of the day before I get out of here. The trade show marketing tip has to do with graphics. Graphics have to do a lot of heavy lifting in your trade show marketing, in the sense that they've got a job to do. They aren't just there to look pretty. They've got a job to do. And you say to yourself, well, what is that job that my graphics have to do? Well, they have to qualify and or disqualify a potential visitor. So you want to tell them what you do, and so that someone who is interested in what you do is welcome to come and find out more. And if they are not in the market, you don't want to waste their time or your time because of the chaos of a trade show floor, especially a busy, large national trade show. There's going to be a lot of people there, perhaps thousands of exhibitors and tens of thousands of attendees. So you want to do your best to make sure that the right people come in. So that means your graphics have a job to do. They got to qualify and they got to disqualify. And that can be done in a number of ways. It can be done with imaging. Imaging is very important. Too many words on a trade show graphic is like trying to put a novel on a billboard, basically. You can't do it. People can't read it. People won't do it. And they'll just keep on going by. So a compelling statement or a compelling question, a bold question that gets people to think and go, oh, I need to find out more. That's really the job of your trade show graphics in a nutshell. All right. Finally, the good thing of the day. One of the podcasts I listened to over the weekend, and I've heard a couple episodes, and they're really fun. New York Radio Hour, New Yorker, I should say, New Yorker Radio Hour, New Yorker Magazine. Let me go back just a little bit. I used to read the New Yorker Magazine as a 20-something-year-old. It would come in now and then to the library where I used to go, and I go, oh, I got to read this magazine. It's cool. Some good stuff in there. And frankly, I really like the cartoons too. But about a year ago, my wife says, I want to get the New Yorker. I said, okay, we'll get the New Yorker. So we subscribed to it, and she's a very dedicated reader, and I am a somewhat dedicated reader. I certainly read the cartoons, but I discovered here recently that they do a weekly, I think it's a weekly podcast, a New Yorker Radio Hour. It also shows up on NPR on occasion. I understand I've heard it there, but you can download it and listen to it. And the thing I heard over the weekend was really nice. It was an episode, I think in December, the New Yorker did a New Yorker festival, and they had like 2 or 3 days or whatever it was of guests on stage talking to them, and they recorded those. And one of those guests was Bruce Springsteen. Big Bruce fan, always loved the guy, loved his music. Well, so for about 45 minutes or so, he's on stage with David Remnick, one of the editors at the New Yorker magazine, and they talked about his new book, Bruce's new book, Born to Run, which is a very open book about his life and revealing a lot of stuff. And as they introduced it, they said, this was a talk that we had publicized, and once the tickets went on sale, all the tickets were gone in 6 seconds. But we got to hear it on the podcast. So I would say the New Yorker Radio Hour podcast, whatever you want to call it, is this week's good thing of the day. So that wraps up the Trade Show Guy Monday morning coffee. Hope you have yourself a great week, and I'll see you next week.